So, how did my Inktober for 2021 go? I'm here to give you the rundown. So obviously I'm not someone who draws, but I figured I'd give Inktober a chance because it's kind of like another one of those, challenge things in all reality. And the fact being that I just found it a good excuse to do something different and do something I'm, not used to. And it was a challenge that I managed to accomplish. Funnily enough, I managed to draw something to the best of my terrible abilities every single day. So without further ado, this is what I drew. So day one was a bit of a meme for back in the day. We had the Moodai bot in the Pronon server, and day one's prompt was the ultimate gacha pull. So I thought, hey, what better idea than the ultimate gacha pull that was pulled from that game, the waifu bot. And that was day one's prompt, and it was kind of like a snapshot of that moment in time when Megumin was claimed. And of course, in the top right, I have a little thing that says not an artist, this will be atrocious, lol. Day two's prompt was Wojax in everyday life. So as kind of a funny bit, I decided to draw myself doing the pointing back Wojak at my GX 101 board, and unknowingly drew this mic arm in a really suspicious position, let's just say. Got me with the GX's good bubble and whatnot. Dude with glasses. Otherwise, yeah, I copied the pointing back version of the Wojak that was a little more popular around that time. Day three's prompt was Geode. So I just kind of drew like a shape-filled kind of egg-looking thing, and this is kind of how it turned out. Probably not the best drawing you'll ever see, but you can, I guess, sort of tell what it is. Now, day four's prompt is where I really stepped it up, at least a little bit, because I actually, drew a person here, instead of, just shapes or whatever. And I decided to draw Susanoo from Smite, and kind of used him, his 3D model as kind of a reference, and for the most part did pretty good. The sword is a little too curved, but otherwise, this was a pretty solid drawing considering, I'm not really much of a draw type. I'd say that this is, a little better than your fucking average stick figure, so yeah, I got a little bit of muscle definition there and whatnot. Now, day five's prompt was Hidden Sus, which is basically to hide an Among Us in your drawing. So I drew a big old smash symbol with a bunch of shading, and then if you zoom in the middle really high, you can see a little Among Us guy in there. And this was celebrating Sora being in Smash because I believe it was announced on this day. Now, day six was called Advanced Drip. So I thought of a funny bit for that would be to draw Juvia from Fairy Tail, which I used a pretty good reference for and probably came out as, I want to say, the best drawing. And it just looks spot on, well proportioned, and a funny joke, funny drip. She is water girl drip. Haha, hardy har har. Day 7 was the prompt Mighty Ships in the year 2226. So I just did a little shitty fucking Gurren Lagann, ship drawn looking thing with funny drills and stuff. And I used a reference for that. Day 8 was Mental Illnesses as Sonic OCs. So I didn't really do anything too crazy for this because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, but I drew some Sonic looking guy with little imagining bubbles, imagining some bullshit, and getting anxious and or stressed out about it. Day 9 was video game characters in business casual. So I drew a cursed Kirby with a nice button-up dress shirt and shit. So that was pretty neat. Day 10's prompt was Your Zodiac. So I drew the Celestial Spirit Key from Fairy Tail for Scorpio. And that's what I drew here. Not too bad of a drawing. A little more advanced concepts kind of going on. A little bit of shading and stuff that I tried to emulate. In some ways good, in some ways bad. Day 11 was Stress. And I drew a picture of Safe Moon tanking in the year 2025 with a Are You Winning Sun in the background. and some other funny things you'll notice, like a gun and a noose, and a little bit more of a nuanced drawing, you know, little funny bit in there. Day 12's prompt was something in front of you right now, so I decided to start drawing like funny dice in a thing, because that's what I had in front of me at the time, after purchasing some for D&D and whatnot, and I kind of like stopped halfway through because I realized how fucking shit of a drawing this was that I was doing. I wasn't really doing everything to scale all that properly, and that's why I wrote, I think you get it, this was fucking ass. Probably one of the worst drawings for sure. Now, day 13's prompt was your own crypto, so I did Yu-Gi-Oh coin with Yugi or Yujo as the ticker, as the little 4-letter ticker thing. The coin is like the Yu-Gi-Oh vortex kind of thing, and it's going to the moon, and there's like a little chart of the Yu-Gi-Oh series over time, sort of in my opinion, really. Day 14 was a Schizo Rage comic prompt, where I drew the "You're coming with us, I hate whatever meme. I did that for NFTs because I thought that was pretty funny, and people were complaining about them a lot at the time. Day 15's prompt was reinterpreting a brand's logo, so I decided to draw the Pringles logo, but the old version, because that's kind of a fucking funny bit. Day 16 was After Humans. Other people that I did this prompt with tended to go a little more insane, but I just went a little simpler. Just a guy going, "I love Papa Elon" in my head with some Ethernet ports on the side of his head and fucking drooling and shit. Day 17 was eggs, so I decided to draw Execute. Day 18 was a shady alley, where I drew the worst shady alley in the world because Sora came out in Smash and we wanted to play. So I was just fucking done with that and wanted to go do that instead. Day 19's prompt was new Pokemon Evos / Megas. So I decided to make a middle evolution for Ferrothorn, so Pharaoh Trap is a middle evo for that. Day 20, its prompt was triple parentheses them, or Tajus, so I decided to draw the Happy Merchant. Day 21 was Nightmare, so I did a bunch of fucking scribbles, but there is like a little face you can kind of see in there. It's kind of reminiscent of the GX Light of Destruction, if you will. Day 22's prompt was Gross Small Creatures, so I drew some disgusting looking fish thing, and then I wrote under it, "My existence is pain." And on the left, there's a little thing that just says, like, "This is small" or some shit. Day 23 was a redacted Sesame Street character, so I decided to make up my own. Munko, the lovable Scrunko. Day 24 was Yu-Gi-Oh! OC. So we got the insane hair, insane coat, anime eyes, etc. So that's how you know this is a fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! Boy. I kind of tried to do the head like in my likeness, more or less, but like more exaggerated features and whatnot, and I used a reference for the coat, but otherwise pretty accurate, I would say. Day 25's prompt was frogs, so drew some little frog boys, doing some simple things, and a little tadpole, go on a branch or some shit, and some water. Day 26 was Fave Minecraft block, so I decided to draw the beacon block, as I believe that is kind of my favorite block. I like having LeBuffs, and this was like a pretty solid drawing overall, actually. Definitely one of the better ones, up there with the Juvia and the Susano. Day 27 was Ridiculous Lightsaber or Keyblade, so I drew a Keyblade lightsaber, and it's kind of funny looking back on it now, since Kingdom Hearts may have Star Wars World in it. Day 28 was Environmental Cubes, so I drew one that like kind of looked fucked, and then I drew one that was like a pool, oasis, beach looking motherfucker, and then I drew another one in the top left that was like a volcano. Since the prompt was Environment Cubes, plural, I decided to draw two okay ones. Day 29's prompt was draw something horribly, so I drew this thing that kind of looked like a dick, but it is a chainsaw. Day 30 was your favorite lolly, so I don't really have much of a favorite lolly, so to speak, so I just drew Nominee, but obviously I fucked up really big in one regard, that being the mouth. And then the final day, the 31-day prompt, was fictional plant, so I decided to draw the penis flytrap. Yeah, it looks pretty funny and would trap a penis. That was the bit for that.